Hey guys, it's Angie with Lucky Little Learners, and I'm here today to talk to you guys all about my 5 easy ways to incorporate social emotional learning into your classroom. That you know that you are in the right place if you know you want to incorporate SEL, social emotional learning, but into your classroom, but you're not quite sure how, or maybe your principal has asked you to get going on the social emotional learning stuff, especially this year being in the middle of a pandemic. But again, you're like, I don't know how, or maybe your plate's too full. You know you're in the right place if you feel like you could be more productive with your teaching and your students could be more productive with their learning. But the behaviors and those little social things are getting in the way of you moving your day along as quickly or as smoothly as you'd like to. And then lastly, you know you're in the right place if that you have found that students are struggling with either things like conflict resolution, maybe it's their ability to focus, or just your peer interactions. So if any of these can beat you, you're in the right place because we are going to help you out. So to continue this conversation, I would love to know how many minutes per day or week do you spend focusing on social emotional learning or SEL? There's no right or wrong answer. You could say 0. It's okay, but we're going to help you. You could say 5 minutes. You could say an hour. There is no right or wrong answer. Learning. I'm going to fly through these because this part is kind of I don't want to say it's a no-brainer, but it's not the meat and potatoes of our presentation. But the benefits of SEL, your students are going to make good choices about those personal and social decisions. Some more benefits to it are that your students will have the ability to resolve the conflicts that they're having with peers and appropriately. Your students will have improved test scores, grades, and attendance. And your students will have increased positive social behaviors and relationships. And I know that teachers can relate to that because if you don't already have that, social emotional learning is going to help you get there. All right, let's jump in. 5 easy ways to incorporate social emotional learning into your classroom. We're going to make this pretty cut and dry for you guys. And the first thing is set aside 15 minutes every day and be intentional. One of the things I hear from teachers is like, I don't have the time, right? I don't have the time to throw another thing into our day. Well, the great news is you don't need to spend an hour a day. 15 minutes can accomplish a lot, especially if you're intentional and you're consistent with it. And we have a lot of ideas that are going to help you out with that. My advice for this is set it aside, make it part of your routine. We're going to talk about where you can fit it into your routine. Add it to your lesson planner. Throw it in there so that you just never miss it, okay? And then, again, it doesn't have to be long, but it should happen every day. All right, easy way number 2, have a weekly or a monthly focus. Now, I prefer to have the monthly focus. I'm going to show you on the next slide here. This is what I choose to have. My suggestion on having where kids are focusing. There's not a rhyme or reason to a specific order, although I do prefer to go in this order, and that's what I'm suggesting teachers to do. But if your district has like certain pillars of character that they choose to follow, you can move this around. But these are my 12 monthly focus suggestions. And then within that, we roll in some of our SEL things like calm down strategies or self-awareness or managing emotions. And we're going to get into that. But I really strongly suggest having that monthly or weekly focus. All right, let's go on to easy way number 3. Let's see. Start your day with a morning meeting. Now, you guys, this is like the most practical way to incorporate SEL. And as far as what goes into the morning meeting is really where the SEL stuff happens. So you might be thinking like, okay, yep, morning meeting, I can do that. I can start my day. I can give it 10 minutes or I can give it 15 minutes to start the day, but what should go inside of morning meeting so I make sure that I'm covering all the bases? So I always say that I like to start morning meeting with a greeting. Something so simple. I actually turn on YouTube. If you go to Greg, it's called Greg and Steve Good Morning. I like to play that song as our indicator to get up and greet each other. Now, of course, COVID, right? Regulations, We can't be mixing and mingling. So hopefully once all this stuff passes and we can mix and mingle a little bit more normally, your kids can give each other a high five or a wave or a handshake. As far as envisioning what this looks like in the classroom right now, it might be that morning song's on and they're waving to each other from across the classroom, talking about that smile, eye contact is preferred, things like that. If you are online, it could be just a short time where they're waving at each other. I know it's not ideal. We will get back to normal, but this is one of the pieces of morning meeting that is important, which is the greeting. All right, the next piece of morning meeting is the sharing time. So in the classroom, what this would look like is a couple of different options. You could do a whip around where you give them a topic like, what's your favorite kind of pizza? Or what did you do this weekend? Or what does it mean to be a friend? And you do a whip around real quick where they get like one sentence and they share quick, right? If you're online, it could be that they do this via your Zoom or Google Meet platform. If you prefer to keep it shorter, you could just take like 3 volunteers every day. Maybe everybody comes up with their answer in their head and they turn and talk with their neighbor, but you pick 3 or 5 different people to share. So the sharing part is the second piece of morning meeting. The third piece of morning meeting is a group activity. Now, group activities are meant to be short, lively, and this is a great opportunity to incorporate those social emotional learning lessons. And what do I mean by that? I mean things like relatable scenarios. You guys, you can give your kids a relatable scenario that has kind of a open ending where they don't know how they would respond to the situation. Give them something that might be something they have to come encounter with, and they don't know, it's a topic where they're not sure how to respond. You give that scenario to them, and as a class, you're going to discuss what would be the best and most appropriate way to respond to this. Again, going back to that focus though, is your focus kindness? Is your focus empathy? And relate them to that. We're going to go into this a little bit more, but I do have an SEL curriculum for first and second grade teachers where we provide you with all the scenarios to do with your class. So that is also an option if you end up going with our full curriculum. But you can also just make up those scenarios. You can role play, you can do sorts. So for example, if your monthly focus is respect, just on your marker board, or even just a the big chart paper, you maybe says on one side says shows respect, on the other side it says does not show respect, and you guys come up with different situations that could go on each side of the chart paper. Okay, again, it's provided in our SEL curriculum, but you could also do it without. It's just you have to get a little more creative on what you would put on each side. Okay, another idea, let's just say that your focus is kindness for the month. What does kindness look like? Make a chart. Again, what does kindness look like in your home? What does kindness look like at school? And then what does kindness look like in the community? And that could be your quick activity for the day. Okay, SEL is covered. 15 minutes a day. All right. And then another idea is just read alouds. And again, we provide you with all the read alouds in our SEL curriculum. Read alouds are a great way to cover that group activity. And then finally, you wrap up your morning meeting with a morning message. Now, this should all be able to get done in that 10 to 15 minutes. So you're moving. But the nice thing is I did morning meeting for years. And honestly, we could zip through a morning meeting in 10 to 15 minutes because we flowed every day. It was the same flow. And we just got used to it. It was routine. The kids knew what to expect. We just kept it going. And you could get a lot accomplished in that short amount of time. As far as morning message, what does that look like? You could type it up on the screen if you're distance learning. You could type it up on the smart board and the kids can get it from their desk. You can write it out on chart paper, write it on your marker board. It's basically setting up the expectations for the day. What are you going to do today? Do you have a special event that's happening? And maybe even just remind the kids, our SEL focus this month is, compassion. What does it look like to feel compassion towards someone? That could even be your morning message with your group activity all in one. So you see how it works? You can really kind of mix and match things to make it work for you. Okay. Number 4, for 5 easy ways to bring social emotional learning in your classroom. Number 4, choose your read alouds wisely. There are a plethora of wonderful read alouds that are available to you. Again, if you own my SEL curriculum, that is something that is going to already be linked for you. So you don't have to track down the links. They're already going to be there along with the questions and the answers and some different activities to go along. But again, you don't need that if you want to go through the extra work of finding those yourself, but I do provide you with all of the different read alouds. Let's go on to the fifth and final, which is teach your students how to manage their emotions. Now, this, I'm going to break it down just a little bit. I'm going to scratch the surface, but I think it's going to be helpful on what I mean by teaching your students how to manage their emotions. So, when students are taught how to manage their emotions, first of all, you're teaching them how to be self-aware and mindful. So what the goal is when they are going about their day, you are going to be teaching them how to basically read the emotion that they're feeling, identify what it is that they're feeling, being able to put a word or a label to it, and then know how to teach them how to respond to that emotion. So if the emotion, for example, is jealousy, your students are going to know what jealousy feels like. They're going to be able to identify it as jealousy, and then they're going to know how to be able to respond to that feeling so that it doesn't feel icky inside of them, okay? Same thing with anger, frustration, overwhelm, stress. And you guys, this stuff is what these kids are feeling, especially right now during the pandemic. So this is one way that we are going to help these kiddos out. Another way we help them to manage their emotions is a calm down corner or a calm down bucket. This looks different in every classroom. I've seen really elaborate calm down corners. I've seen really basic calm down buckets. Basically, what this is it's a toolkit or corner of your classroom where you provide your students with things that will help them to calm down. If you go to luckylittlelearners.com and you just type in calm down corner, you're going to see a list of suggestions of different things that can go in the calm down corner or the calm down bucket. My suggestion, if you do end up doing something like this, or even if you wait till we can kind of get over some of these COVID regulations, is to teach your students how to use these appropriately and really speak into it as we're using these as tools, not toys. And you might even demonstrate to them, like, for example, I wish I had one here, like one of those little stress balls, for example. Those little squishy balls, they feel like they have flour in them. So that might be in your calm down corner or your calm down bucket. So explaining to them, like, what to do when they are using that as a tool. And it's basically getting them to go from a heightened sense of stress, anger, overwhelm, whatever it is they're feeling, back to the ability to get themselves centered and return back to class. Again, SEL curriculum has a lot more details and a really extensive training on this, but that is kind of scratching the surface on the calm down corner and why it's useful. And then the last way to show your kids how to manage their emotions are those brain breaks. You can do a variety of things with these. So basically the concept of a brain break, for those that are not familiar, is that a brain break is allowing you as the teacher to get proactive instead of reactive with your students. It is allowing your students to have that focused academic time, and then you build in those brain breaks so that it gives them a chance to kind of release their bent up, whatever they're feeling, even then either bottled up like energy. It's giving them a chance to release that before they go into the next chunk of academic learning time. I've seen these put on these little jumbo straws that you can pick up at the store. I've seen them added to just a basic ring that you can have. I've even just seen these thrown in a basket, and you can just pick one out and say, all right, guys, right now we are going to do Let's Dance. Move your body to the music and show off your dance moves. Turn on the music for 30 seconds. It doesn't have to be long. And there's your brain break. Now go back to academic time. Okay, for those that are asking about the social emotional learning curriculum, we are so excited about this. Here's how this works. This is something that has been in the works for about 1.5 years. This is something that it started as something called the Encouraging Classroom. If you followed me for any amount of time and you've seen maybe a little bit about the Encouraging Classroom, it was a membership for teachers that wanted to bring social emotional learning and character education into the classroom. through that process of working with teachers over a year, we have come together and made the absolute most epic curriculum for first and second grade teachers to bring this into their classroom. And it is now available in our store, and we're so excited about it. Everything that I've shared here goes into more detail. So I've given you tons of great information about 5 easy ways to bring social emotional learning into your classroom. The curriculum is going to go deep, and it's going to provide everything. The scenarios, we have songs every month. We have home connections where we teach the what we've been learning in the classroom. They teach it at home, or they bring the skill home and make the parents or the families aware of it. So I actually am going to show you just a really quick sneak peek at what exactly is in this. Like I said, that you couldn't hear me, but all those traits are in here for you. We also provide lesson plans. We provide you with the essential questions and objectives, everything. Also included in the curriculum that includes monthly songs. So this is my husband, Brandon. He's sitting right next to me. I wish you could see him. But he wrote songs, 12 songs, one for every character trait. And they come with a video where the kids can sing along on the screen. And it comes with those. For those that do play guitar, you get a chord chart. And then it also comes with a song sheet for the kids to sing along or bring home so that they can sing it to their parents. Also, we had an artist do up some coloring sheets that are all, gosh, they're beautiful. They kind of remind me of an adult coloring book and a kid version. It's custom artwork and really have that focus on the positive. Great for early finishers, etc. Like I said, they come with all the books. We give you the read aloud on YouTube. We give you the links for that. They come with questions and answers so that all of the work is front loaded for you. You don't have to do a thing. Another thing that we include are those tools to manage the big emotions. So like in our training, we talked about the calm down corner. These I would hang up inside of the calm down corner. When the kids enter, more than likely they enter that calm down corner because they're not feeling good. They might be a 1 or a 2, but hopefully by the end of it, they're at a 5 or a 4, so they can return. And we have a ton of things to offer you for that. We also have just a bunch of hands-on projects that the kids enjoy. A lot of video trainings like you see here. This is just scratching the surface. Home connections, these are wonderful. You can send them one home each week. It basically will tell the parents what we have been learning about in school, what our monthly focus is, and in a practical way that they can practice or discuss that skill at home. And then you can have them return them to school if you so please. And then again, we just have a bunch of student activities. These are great for that morning meeting time like we talked about. Your morning meeting time can be a time where, maybe you just literally pull up this what is self-control sheet where they sort the things by showing self-control or does not show self-control. And you can do this as your class activity during morning meeting real quick. But we do provide you a ton of activities. And as you can see here, you can get this done in 15 minutes a day. We also provide you with extra support if you do want to dive a little deeper into it. And then this is just some information on what other teachers are saying. So we've had over 1,000 teachers use this curriculum in their classrooms for over the last year and a half. We are incredibly proud of it. It is one of my favorite things we've ever created, and I can't say enough about it. These teachers have a lot to say about it as well. If you want to take the time to read these, I have these in the product description at the top of the video. If you click on that, and then there's a link in there that will allow you to download the preview file. These are in there if you do want to take a closer look. All right. And then finally, like I said, I'm going to give you a chance to listen to some teachers that are inside of the Encouraging Classroom and have them tell you what they love about it. We have, great question, digital component. We do have a lot of these activities are digitized and they are available, already uploaded inside of the curriculum itself. I also have a training in there that shows you how you could use some of the things that maybe like a read aloud. It shows you how you can use that digitally, virtually, things like that. So we definitely have digital items in there along with the support and the training on other ways you can use it digitally. Yes, Seesaw and Canvas, they can be put in there with a little extra work. They are set up for Google Classroom. And then also if you do Zoom or Google Meets, yeah, it's also very easy to use through that platform as well. I'm going to finish this off with a word from some teachers that have used this curriculum. I thank you for your time. And let's go ahead and show you what other teachers have to say.
My name's Nikki Hill.
Hi, I'm Ashley. I'm a school counselor in Arkansas.
Hi there, my name is Jillian Rice.
My name is Stephanie Tacky.
My name is Julie. I teach first grade.
Hi, my name is Sue and I teach second grade.
My name is Suzanne Wilson.
My favorite part of encouraging classrooms so far has been the homeschool connection. My parents have responded really well because it's teaching them how to have those difficult conversations with their kids, and it also cements what we're doing here in the classroom.
My favorite part of Encouraging Classroom, other than how easy it is and how simple, is the books. These are really great books that teach really great lessons.
I joined the Encouraging Classroom because I noticed that a lot of my students were lacking in their social emotional skills, and I needed something to help support that.
Kindness has been my favorite. I've been able to extend it into more than just 1 month. I extended it into December, and the kids have made more of a conscious effort to recognize when their other classmates have been kind.
It has helped my students. It has them talking about, oh, that's showing self-control, or we need to remember kindness. Whatever it is, our focus, they bring it up and they notice it during the day, and before they never talked about it. So I love that it's made the kids more aware and looking for those character traits.
The kids and I really love doing the lessons. They are very relevant to what students are going through today, to what we're seeing in the classrooms today. We look forward to the 15 or 20 minutes daily, and we really feel like we're connecting as human beings, as people.
I encourage all of you, pun included, to be joining her website, reach out to one another, continue to collaborate, and we will make this world a better place.
I love it. You guys, I hope that just kind of gives you a glimpse into the impact it's making in classrooms all over the world. And if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to me at customerservice@luckylittlelearners.com. I appreciate you taking the time to be here with me, and I look forward to more trainings in 2021. Have a great night.